I keep trying to get that point across to everybody. You're going to get told on, man.
Yeah.
And guess what? Odds are you're going to tell on yourself. I've watched the first 48 enough times to know. You know? At that point, the only thing I speak is Spanish. Abogado. Abogado, which means lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should say nothing more, whether you're innocent, guilty, whatever, you know?
No, what they hold on, you forgot they're bringing a little hot chocolate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they bring a little. It's cold and it's AC's blowing and you know it's okay. You sit there, they close the door and they sit and they watch.
It's freezing your ass.
And you freeze your eyes and they open the door back up. So what do you want to say? Well, my baby mom, she know this guy named Tito. Tito said that he was gonna go do this. And dude, they have the case solved in a matter of
15 minutes. Yeah. It doesn't, especially these pups. I mean, hey, if not, and Tekashi knew anything about you, you might want to get him. You know? So I understand he's just telling on everybody, you know.
But see, even before, like, this is the thing, like, even with the Tekashi thing. And people are like, oh man, Tekashi, they were gonna rob him and they were messing with him. Look, he was, when you first came into the room and you seen the wolves, you knew they were wolves. So what'd you expect? A wolf is gonna prey on weak. That's what they do. The weakest one gets preyed on. So for one, you're with wolves. For two, the wolves, it's like they knew he was a weirdo. It's like if I used to roll up and I used to see homies sometimes, I come through and they be over there, I'm going to do some business, and you see a dude and you're like, they're playing, oh, this is the homie.
Girls.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. Or you see a dude looking, you're like, oh, this is homie so and so. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker weirdo. I'm not fucking with him. He's from what? He's from the man. So you can kind of judge character. So you don't even bring a dude like that intimately with you. Why would you have a dude with purple hair and red stuff? Come on, he a gang member. Why would you be rolling with that dude? Because of the money.
Only. It's the only thing. And guess what?
And that not all money's good money.
Really smelling like sheep once around them wolves once that money gets involved.
So, you know, I it's like not all money's good money. And like a partner of mine was telling me, man, it's like, dude, you know, they said, oh, we're gonna deport your family or else. And from that day on, you know, here, we got you an Escalade wired up. We got you a driver informant. We got everything from there is recorded. I mean, dude, it's like they had every single day on tape. So these guys, it's like, you don't get it, man. You got to really pay attention to the people you're around. And like, for me, it's sad to say, like, the majority of my friends are dudes, ex-penitentiary dudes that I know, you know what I mean, that are solid.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, these new dudes, I've seen them. Dudes walking around, oh, man, he's an MMA fight, tatted up, blah, blah, blah. And he told on my partner. Told. And I predicted it. I said, man, that dude, he's like, oh, man, yeah, he's, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, as soon as they shit hit the fan, he was the first one. He's out still. Sent like 3 or 4 people away. 20 years, 15 years, 10 years.
Yeah, I happen to know a couple of people right now that are kicking with somebody, and, you know, they keep referring to him as the big homie, you know what I mean? And my butthole just fluxes, you know, because I know everything about him, you know what I mean? I know that who he told on, I read the paperwork. And granted, I wouldn't want to write somebody else's murder brief either, you know what I mean? Like, but they weren't really throwing the case on him. But I mean, he's straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, he did a minute fighting the case, whatever, and now he's got all these pups running around with him, calling because he's got a couple tattoos. He's a sizable dude, you know what I mean? And they're calling him the big homie, you know what I mean? So either A, Badger starts opening his mouth again, getting involved in politics, and puts himself in a position that he probably doesn't want to be in again by going, well, you know what I mean? Like, I could show you paperwork today. Why do I want to go through all that shit? You know what I mean? Like, A, I just keep my distance from those people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be involved in in politics out here. You know what I mean? In there, we to some degree have no choice, you know what I mean? Especially the car that I ran in, you have to be involved, you know what I mean? But like out here, I have a choice, you know.
Well, you got a bigger option pool, and like you said, the last, you know, you get involved in that, and you start saying, well, you know, blah 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 about this dude, and you know this and that. Like those youngsters, they almost they got figured out. I mean, you can pull them to the side and be like, hey man, you know, you should watch yourself. Oh man, I'm not tripping. Then, you know, you got to learn your lesson. But it's like you said, you don't want to get involved, you know, because I've had even situations where people say stuff about somebody. I'm like, oh, man, why are you talking to that dude, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, who are you? You're called, you don't even talk to me. but you're sending me a message trying to tell me blah blah blah, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, what's your agenda? So my thing is, stay out the politics. If we're gonna be family, we're gonna be family. If we're gonna, but other than that, don't bring the bullshit around me, because it's a way bigger picture on the street, dude. I'm trying to go international. I'm not trying to have fresh out just over here. I'm trying to go over to, Germany, Russia, fucking China. I'm trying to, bring people from all over the world to share game so that everybody can learn and not go to prison and not get caught up and keep their mouth shut and, not subject themselves to that environment. That's the ultimate goal. I wish, man, I would have had a big homie or, a big badger or somebody would have told me, like, hey, man, what the fuck you doing? Get the fucking dope out. Man, get your fucking ass back at the house. Where your mom at? She's working, right?
Come here.
Yeah. Get your motherfucking ass. I'm going to go tell your mom, man. Don't tell my mom. Man, yeah, get your ass out the park, man. Out here selling dope. This shit ain't cool. What, you want to go to the pen? Motherfucker, I've been in the pen 5 times. If they would have told me that, like, he was up in there and they had to do this and do that, I would have been probably thinking a little bit like, damn, that dude, he's on swole and he's telling me it ain't cool. But they weren't telling me that. So I wish somebody would have told me that. And even then, it's like, I still had the choice, but at least I would have heard it from somebody who had lived a life. And it would have made me think a little different. So I'm like, well, man, offering this channel and, bringing people on like you and different individuals, I get kids all the time emailing me, oh, Big Herc, man, I watch your stuff, man, you and Badger, man, you inspired me, man, and Bob. One person said, hey, man, I watch it with my kid. Me and my kid have a better relationship. He's listening now. Because the parent just can't tell the kid because the kid don't want to hear it. But when they see it from 2 individuals, like, who have been through from 2 different perspectives, it's like, it has an impact. And that, to me, is the value. Not these rappers and no, man, real, genuine people who have been through it, man, who have seen it head on.
Some depth and weight, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And they're not glorifying it. They're not embracing it. They're not trying to act like it was cool, because it's like I told somebody, I said, man, there ain't nothing cool, man. You ain't nothing cool. Like you said, the day you go in there, man, you're looking at getting time. You feel like you got to throw up, man. You feel like you're going to shit yourself. It's like, the judge is saying you're like sitting there, butterflies in your stomach, and you're dealing with the court process, you're being transferred. Dude, it ain't nothing cool about any of that, no matter what Hollywood twist they put on it.
The reason I'm picking up my phone is I'm going to read you, because I don't know about you, but I get a buzz off the comments we get, right? So, by the way, I got new prescription glasses, thank God. So how do I go to me? A lieutenant gets at me. All right, I don't know how to find me. Here we go. A lieutenant gets at me. Okay, here. Badger, I'm a police lieutenant, and I love your videos. I have often found that people do not realize that the white inmates have it to be 10 times tougher than others because of how outnumbered they are. Okay, so that's just the start of the, just like I'm putting it out there, a lieutenant, recognizing that, people have it rough, not just white inmates. It's not just white inmates. Everybody has it rough. But so he goes on to asking about the other field that I work in, which is recovery. Like he himself isn't, somebody in his circle needs help. I got a police lieutenant reaching out to me and saying, hey, I could use some of your help. Asking a convict advice.
That's big.
So I put this up, and I get a phone call. You need to take that down. I said, is that right? And this is coming from who? So I knew who was calling, but I wanted to know who it was coming from before I decided whether to take it down or not. And well, it's coming from me. You do what you need to do. You know where I'm at 24/7. You don't ever call me and tell me to take something down again. This is saying that we are recognized, not just the white man, but the black man or the Mexican or anybody, but we are recognized as people. We're recognized as not just a convict or a number. We're recognized as people, and that there is a common ground if we get out and we start flipping our shit around. To me that was a 100% solid, because I had taken one down before. It was Lieutenant Rodriguez from Corcoran said, I hated you, Badger. You know what I mean? It's like when you were here, I thought you were the worst piece of shit. That's how the whole thing starts, you know what I mean? He goes, and the man you're growing into is not some, you know what I mean? And this is from a lieutenant that I couldn't stand, bro. And he writes me this big old long thing, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, you give me like hope, basically, is what
Anybody can change
you
that.
give me hope that, you know what I mean, that the worst of the worst can, it's not saying I was the worst of the worst, but I wasn't the best of the best, I can promise you that, you know, but that we can start to be recognized as people and know that, you know, we're not just savages or animals or whatever. And I did take that one down because, well, for starters, who told me to, ask me to, but, you know, saying, hey man, we don't co with the police like that. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not understanding. I'm not corresponding with the police. So I'm getting a compliment from the police about the show, saying what I'm bringing to the youth out there. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, can you and Herc? It's always you and Herc. You know what I mean? Can you and Herc go do schools or whatever? Like, I'm sure we'd both be down to do that. You know what I mean? Like, of course we would do schools. We would do whatever we can to help society better itself. You know, because it's ridiculous. Bro, I turn on that news, it's absolutely friggin' ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't
get
really watch
so
it.
pissed off every time I turn that news on. I say arm everybody, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, just arm everybody, and I bet you there's a whole lot less shootings.